All right, everybody. Tip number 7, the last tip in our 7-part video series, 7 email opt-in tips to improve conversions. Our 7th tip is about splash pages, okay? Let's talk about splash pages a little bit. Rather than being driven straight to a form, which blah, who wants to go there, we want to drive people to pages that are going to give them a little bit of verbiage and help bring them along through the journey, through the experience of the conversion, right? So instead of a form, we can create a better user experience with an interim page or a squeeze page. These types of warm and fuzzy pages are called splash pages, and they allow us to get the user to stay active and stay part of the experience by decreasing, and it also decreases the bounce rate as they go through the process, the opt-in process, okay? So, for instance, the bullet points that we have for splash pages here, to use them or not to use. I recommend using them. They're useful in many situations. It depends on the experience that you have and what you're trying to drive them to, but I would say that we can use them to deliver small bites of information and lead people through the process. We can decrease the bounce rate by using these pages. We can make the experience a more positive experience for them, where they're able to digest everything and understand what they're going to get if they opt in. We help them understand how we're going to help them solve the problems by opting in. And essentially, you know, splash pages used to be something where people would put them before the main page of the website, right? They'd have some flashy thing, some lightning coming down or some explosion, and then they'd have that little movie, and then all of a sudden it would drive you to the home page, right? That was frowned upon for many years because the search engines couldn't get directly to the website. They'd go to this splash page, and it wasn't a high-quality page. It had no content on it. So it was really frowned upon to use splash pages for websites. In this case, we're talking about using a page to help drive them through the landing page and the conversion experience. So it's a little different than a splash page for a website. Splash pages for websites we don't recommend, okay? So, but let's get back to the point. It's a proven fact that pop-ups aren't effective and they don't give the best user experience. So just the same way that a splash page may not give that better user experience, it has to be tested, has to be tried, and you have to make the right choices based on real information, real world information. Some surveys of user experience research shows that it's almost 100% of the users that are affected negatively by poor quality splash pages or pop-up forms that appear out of nowhere. So any persistent opt-in forms that pop up in front of users usually drives people to bounce off the page, okay? And it puts them into a bad loop that they can't get out of unless they close their entire browser. Yuck, that's a terrible experience. So you want your user experience for your new customers to be a positive and easy journey, right? You want to show your prospects that you already care about them and that you're respectful enough to give them a choice of embracing your brand or not. We always want to start a new business relationship with a positive experience, and you will have more loyal customers long term with this approach. They're people, you know? They're not robots. You want to help solve your customers' problems, right? While still giving you a chance to capture prospects, right? We want to capture emails, right? So if clients go to the URL, they're directed to your squeeze page, which also includes an optional big fat button saying something like, "No thanks, take me to the main site," okay? That's fine. But if you're driving them to a landing page, splash pages can be really effective. If you have a website, we don't recommend splash pages. So no splash pages before website entrance, but squeeze and splash pages are okay in the landing page conversion process. So different situations can convert differently, and we recommend one or the other, but we always recommend testing. So this will give the user a better experience because they won't have to think about what you're trying to get them to do. For instance, if you drive them to your website, they're not going to know exactly what to do. If we're driving them through a homepage experience with splash pages and little bits of information, they're usually more likely to convert, okay? And if they're taken from a PPC campaign or an advertising campaign, they'll especially appreciate the fact that you're driving them to a page that has congruent content and giving them what they thought they were coming to the page to get. So think about your splash pages and use them wisely is all we're really saying. And don't discount, once again, the importance of great copy and messaging and following your marketing viral cycle. Remember, set your goals, create the proper content, make sure your targeting is accurate, and then amplify that content. Then measure the results and do it over and over and over again. Through optimizing your opt-in area on your lead pages and your squeeze pages, you'll be able to improve conversions 30 to 60%. And I hope these 7 tips helped you get to that point. I want to thank you for being here and taking part in all 7 video clips. And let's get optimizing.